hey. Hey, everybody. How you doing? This is Jim. Welcome to episode number 1, premiere episode of the Community Showcase right here on the Edge of Tech channel. Next to me on this side, you guys may know him as Nerys, Mr. Chris Taylor from today's 3D Print. How you doing, Chris?
Pretty good.
All right. Well, welcome. Let's see if I can find. There we go. There it is. We found it. We got some really cool guests tonight. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate that. I know we had a good test last night, and we got a really good group of, about 30 people watching right now, and we just kicked in. So thank you guys so much for coming on and watching. What was that?
Happy victims.
All right. Happy victims. That's right. I'm not sure what Aaron's saying. Chris, you're kind of quiet. Oh, it's because he hasn't talked loud yet. So welcome to Streamlabs, Chris. I know we were talking a little bit about what we can do, and Alien 3D's in the house. We can do this. Josh over at Alien 3D.
Nice.
Yeah, so we can show that, and we can do all sorts of comments. But today, and on the Community Showcase, we're actually here to hang out with the people of the community. So today we're going to bring in, first, I think we're going to bring in Tom. You guys know him as the 3D Printing Llama. And he's been all over our streams and our chats and everything. And he's a cool dude. And been doing his own chats too. So I'm going to bring him in. Let's see. Hey, there he is. How you doing, Tom?
What's up, everybody?
Hey. Well, welcome. Welcome to the first inaugural episode of the Community Showcase. Thank you for being part of it.
No problem.
Let's see. So,
torture chamber. We bring them in and they never leave.
the community torture.
Chris, your mic is really low.
I love it.
It's the phone.
Oh, you're using the phone?
Nice. Well, what we'll do is just start whispering.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. So a little bit about the stream when we get kicked off here. We had a suggestion from someone in the community to start a stream or a show about other people in the community to showcase their projects, their prints, their printers, anything they're working on. And so that's what this show is really about. If you want to be a part of it, all you got to do is email me, shoot me an email at jim@theedgeoftech.com, and we'll get you in there. We love people, so let's get everybody out there. So I know, Tom, we know your name is Tom. So I got to ask you, why do you go by the 3D Printing Llama?
It's kind of a long story, but I'll make it as short as I possibly can. My last name is actually Lammarine. So first thing everyone would immediately assume is lammy, lamb chops, lammer, lammy stuff. Problem is I have 4 older brothers. So by the time it got to me in high school, the lamb chops, the lammy pies, the lamb cooking, and all of that were used. And me and one of my friends were out in this smoking area one day. Yes, I'm so old. We had a smoking area in school. A friend of mine was actually writing in chalk on the wall of the school, la, 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 and he went, la, 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 llama, and it just stuck.
Oh, can't do that one.
And we both got suspended for it, by the way.
Nice.
But it was fun.
That's cool. So what do you want to talk about today? What you working on? What do you got? I know you have a printer that you built, right?
Yeah. This puppy right here that I'll drag over so you can sort of see it. Can you see it yet? Crap. Yep, I built my own Core XY. I started designing one. Was originally going to do the, all too famous Tech 2C version, which is now I can't even think of the name of it. What's the name of that one he designed? Somebody speak. I can't remember. Anyway, he did that. The I want to say Railcore. It's not the Railcore. There was a few things I really didn't like about it, and I was like, I can make my own. 2 years later, I decided I can. It wasn't the brightest thing I ever did. I did try and do some things differently than all the other ones. I wanted, the Hypercube. That was it. I wanted absolute straight belt pass. I didn't want any twisting of the belts. I didn't want any fluctuations. I didn't want any weird angles. So if you look at mine, it's a perfect square. All my belts travel in the perfect, straight path. Everything is exact 90-degree right angles, blah, blah, blah. The other thing is when you build a Clear XY, most people build these massive frames like this. This is a 500 cube. But you end up with like 200 millimeter working space because they mount all the motors and everything inside. And I was like, well, why build this big frame, mount everything inside to get this little build volume? So the next thing I wanted to do was put everything outside, which, no, you can't close it then, but I didn't care because I print mostly in PLA, so it doesn't matter. Giving me the biggest, knocking my Llama head off, giving me the biggest build volume I could. I kind of stopped there because when I went to get the heat plate, I found out it was going to be hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get a 450 or 500 millimeter build plate. So I ended up going to Folger Tech and getting the old original FT1 or FT5 build plate, heat plate. It was like $50 back then. They're cheap now, but it was like $50 back when I built it. So now it's 300. It'll actually be bigger.
The chat is screaming hypercube, by the way.
Yes, it's a hypercube, yeah. I'm terrible at remembering names like that. So yeah, and that's that. A couple other weird things I did is you probably can't see it down at the bottom, but I didn't use a standard skateboard bearing for the bottom. I actually use compression bearings. I do a lot of construction work and everything, and I know the advantages of compression bearings. For those of you who don't know what a compression bearing is, it's instead of just having the two races and balls inside, it's actually little mini wheels or mini tubes that go around in a circle, and that way they hold the weight more. A regular skate bearing will hold weight, but they're actually designed to do it for a very short time. They're not made to continuously hold in one direction. You'll wear out the race.
You're talking about the angled bearings, like in the old car wheel?
No. I don't know how long I'm going to stay because we're getting wet by, I don't know if you heard that, but we're getting hit by lightning right now. No, compression bearing is absolutely flat.
Oh.
Okay, it's basically 3 washers stacked, and the middle washer has a bunch of little tubes in a circular pattern. So when it rotates, it just rolls the tubes. They're like little mini metal logs, think of them. They're all about, 4 or 5 millimeters long, and they go around. You still have to use a regular skate bearing underneath it or on top of it for the belt, because the belt will pull it side to side, and that has absolutely no restraint in that direction. So there's basically 2 bearings at the bottom of it. I wish I could take it apart and show you, but not gonna happen. A lot of work to do all that. But yeah, if you look up a compression bearing, it's just made to hold weight in one direction, unlike a standard bearing. You were talking about angular contact bearings, which probably would have been a better idea, except for an angular contact bearing is like $60 for a good one, where compression bearings are like $3.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, and you can actually get angled bearings now way cheaper. Again, when I built this, they were still kind of new, the angled contact bearings. I bought them for my mountain bike for the pedals.
Nice.
You put the angled contact bearings in and you get ceramics and you get the whole bottom bracket. It was like $150 for this stupid overpriced, basically 2 bearings.
RCCNC is saying something about needle roller bearings or needle thrust bearings.
Yes, that's exactly it. They're the same thing. A compression bearing and a needle roller bearing are the same thing. They actually are laid out slightly different. A compression bearing has a different, tighter pattern, but it's the same idea. A needle roller bearing is still a roller bearing. It's a round tube, and it still exists this way. A compression bearing, they're sprayed out instead of being in contact with their straight item, with the axle.
So how long have you been printing?
Oh, a long time.
A long time.
Let's see. My first actual printer was, I hate to say it, an M3D Micro.
Really?
Yeah. And I actually had 3 of them. I bought it myself for a Christmas present in 13 or 14 or whenever they came out. They just gotten through their Kickstarter, all being successful, and they immediately went into production and started selling outright. And literally, it was like a week or two after their Kickstarter finished, and they said, we're going to sell them wholesale also. You can get the Kickstarter price, and that's when I bought it. It was just before Christmas. I can't remember exactly when I got it. But it immediately, I fired it up, read all their manuals, fired up all the stuff, got the software in my computer, which is a real pain. Their software is just a fancy Cura, and it's just obnoxious. Got it all fired up, turned it on. It sat there. I got a heat up reading. I'm like, why is it heating up? Whatever, Heated up. Nozzle went boom right into the filter. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was right out in my yard.
That was right on cue, too.
That was loud.
When we go back and replay this, you said the nozzle went boom into your build plate, and then the lightning went off. That was pretty awesome.
Did it actually show in the window behind me? Yeah, that was right out there. That was close. There was no flash and then delay. That was just kaboom.
I love it.
Yeah, that was a little. Anyway, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to have electricity. So
yeah. So what? We're kind of asking similar questions of everybody, and the next one I had for you was what printers do you use or printer? I know you use the Llama core. Do you have any other ones?
Oh yeah, I have the Frown King, which has a whole nother story, and I have the original one that I actually, you can see it back there. That's my first real 3D printer. M3D sent me, it crashed. They sent me a new one because it just like devastated. I mean, it didn't just melt the build plate. It just melted right through the whole bottom of the printer. So they immediately sent me a new one. Wow. The good thing is I videotaped it. I wish I still had the video. I lost the video somewhere. Because, I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to get my first 3D printer, and I've got my phone out and I'm videotaping it. And it goes and just blows right through the whole thing. They sent me another one that immediately did the exact same thing. And then they sent me a third one. This is like March now. I'm on my third one. I have not printed a single thing in 3 months. And I finally got it to print. And after about a month of that thing, I said, no. The Max Micron, which if you go back that far, that's actually the same thing as the Hick Tops that were out in the same time. Exactly the same printer. Max Micron was a subsidy of Hick Top, from what I understand.
Nice.
I spent a lot of extra money because I knew I did not want the acrylic frame. So I spent like an extra $100 to get the aluminum 2020 frame, which is like all the standard now. But back then, that was a major upgrade. Printed with that, started building this, and just recently I got the ANET E12 Taser Face, the Frown King.
Nice.
Which, if you know Glenn at Fun King 3D, he still dislikes that printer immensely. It's actually probably the best printing printer I have right now. It is the best printing printer.
It's really not a bad machine. It works reliably.
Oh, no. It never worked once. It has never worked once. I had to put a new board in it, a new screen in it. I had to replace half the hot end. The bed. The actual bed rods went like this.
Oh,
so as the bed goes across, it does that. So I took it all out.
You got a 5th axis CNC, buddy.
Yeah. I took it all out and put all 2020 in there and modified it and made my own wheels, and so the bed now slides on the wheels. But not only that, when you go to adjust it, the actual bed plate, not the hot plate, but the carriage plate is steel. It's sheet metal. It's not aluminum. And it's thin. It's like 1 millimeter thick. So you go to adjust one of those little knobs or something, or the nozzle comes in, you got a little low and it hits it. It doesn't hit it and then spring back up. The springs are stronger than it is. It just bends it. It just bends it down. Boom, instant adjust. I actually adjusted it a couple times by just going around and driving the nozzle into the build plate, and just did it a bunch of times, and it just bent the whole thing down to flat. I am not kidding. It just bent it down to flat.
Automatic bed.
Level it right out. I was like, hey, that works.
So, Chris, do you have any questions you want to ask Tom or Llama?
Not particularly.
Good.
What's your favorite thing about 3D printing?
What was that?
What's your favorite thing about 3D printing?
I just like make. I've always been I've worked construction my whole life. I just like, and it's not even the making. I like making stuff, but even when I'm doing construction, I love at the end of the day, you work your butt off, building a house, and you get in your car or your truck or whatever, and you look in the rear mirror, and there's something there that wasn't in the morning that you did, and I just making stuff is just cool to me. I mean,
that's one of my favorite things is
peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time.
You need a bracket or something, and you just go to your printer and you print it. You walk away, you go to lunch, you come back or whatever, and you have whatever you just printed. It's so cool. Yes, could I go buy that outlet cover for 20 cents?
Yeah,
probably, but it's definitely not the same,
And it's funny because a lot of times I'll make something, and just like an outlet cover, I have a rainbow colored outlet cover because the outlet, I went to plug something in, I pushed it a little hard, and it snapped the cover. And I printed one. Everyone went, aren't those 29 cents at Home Depot? It's like, yeah, but I'd have to go get it. I can go, and a couple hours later, it's just there. It's mine. And I love doing that stuff, especially that kind of thing, like the, cover plates. I've done a bunch of wall switch cover plates with, that leftover scrap of filament on every roll.
Right.
So I got a whole bunch of rainbow colored.
Ooh, another one. So one more question for you. Because we're all here, we're all makers. There's so many channels out there. What is one that you may know of or watch that you may not, that we may not? What's the channel you can suggest to everybody to check out just because it's something awesome you like to watch?
Yeah. Who did I send you? You actually asked me this question. Oh, Fisher. Yeah. The guy is awesome. He's kind of small. My big thing is anyone that knows me is I'm real big on Idea Maker for their slicer. It's quickly becoming my favorite. Although I gotta say the new Prusa slicer is slowly winning my heart over again. But Idea Maker is by and far the best. If you need supports and you can deal with it, Idea Maker does have kind of a wonky interface. But my attitude is I'm more worried about the final print. Pick me.
It's gonna show.
Where was I? He distracted me.
Final print.
Oh yeah, the final print is more my interest. A lot of people are like, "Oh, this slicer slices slow." Well, this does that slow, or this is hard to. The interface is a little slow. It's like, yeah, but it's 30 seconds to a minute. And if it gives you a final print faster, which Idea Maker is getting to the point where I can do as good or better than Simplified 3D in print speeds and, not travel speeds, but actual getting the product off of. I'll spend an extra minute or two playing with the interface or dealing with it to save me an hour on the printer.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Sweet. Well, do you have any questions for us, for myself, or for Chris?
No, Chris is pretty, out there, so he's all over the place. So there's not much you can ask him. The only thing I can think of to ask him is, what do you do with all that stuff? Now, I don't know if you remember, because I'm like a nobody, but I met you at Earth. Me and you were BSing as we set up, and you have all that stuff. I look at my stuff and I'm like, I got to get rid of some of this crap. I can't have this stuff hanging around here no more. I mean, I'm giving it away and mailing it off to people and just getting that. What do you do with all that?
That's what I do. I give it away.
You do?
If somebody says they want something, I'm like, take it.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I do too. I got my half a dozen items I will not let go. But other than that, you want it here. I can always print another one.
Yeah. I just printed this. And this will go away after I'm done making the video, and I'll give it to my buddy who wants to give it to his girlfriend. It's Harley Quinn's cork gun.
Oh, so say give it to his girlfriend. That's a little dangerous. You better make that thing work.
Huh?
Said give it to your girlfriend's dangerous.
It's just a plastic toy.
It was being facetious.
Hey, but that thing is awesome looking, by the way.
I'm just waiting for someone to come out with a wife remote.
Right.
silent. It's got one button, silence.
Oh boy. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Tom. I really appreciate the time. I know you got to get flying here.
Yeah.
I'll throw that up there. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Tom, the 3D printing llama. Check out his YouTube channel. He does all sorts of fun streams. He put one out today about the flexible loom, right?
Yep.
It's a video, and then he does impromptu streams where we just all jump in and have fun with him too. So check out Tom. Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate it.
We do a lot of this.
Yes.
Oh, that's half the fun.
Yes.
That's all the fun.
That is all the fun. Well, thank you so much. Have a good one, Tom.
See you guys. Thanks for stopping in.
Thank you. That was awesome. I love watching and seeing people's homemade printers. I might have to jump in and do that myself someday.
Especially big complex ones like that. It's pretty cool.
I'm relatively new to this, and I'd be way up over here over my head in that. But we're going to jump in right away. We got Chris Gulotta. He's joining us next. Chris is also seen in all of our streams and has some really cool stuff. One thing in particular I'm going to ask him. So I'm going to bring Chris in. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Hey, guys. Doing good. How are you?
Awesome.
Hey, Nerys.
Hello. Ooh, I see that big raptor back there.
Hey,
Cool.
Brian Vines.
Yeah, Brian's in the house. We got Terry. I said it right this time because he corrected us during one of those fun streams. But we got the TH3D guys. We have just a ton of people. Blasto's in the house. I can't go back through all of them because we don't have time. But anyways, how you doing, Chris?
We got all night, Jim. What are you talking about?
This is true. We're trying to keep it to an hour, so it's not impeding on too many people's schedules. But yeah, normally that's what really happens though. We jump on these streams and it's 2 or 3 hours later, we're like, oh my gosh, we gotta go.
Yeah, I ran into Josh. He did a 15-minute test stream. It was over 3 hours.
I heard about that the other day. Yeah,
Good times.
that's great. So I know we got a bunch of cool stuff that we want to talk about, and I have some pictures. Let me just see if I can share my screen real quick here. Let's see. Maybe today would be good.
And yes, Andrew, I got a shipper for the cars.
Nice.
Did you get a better price?
Yeah, 2,400.
Perfect.
Nice. So there's a picture for you.
Yeah, that was at Murph this year.
That's the Chris's at Murph.
Yeah. Now, despite the smiley face, he was pretty much distraught because he left his box of maker coins at home.
I remember.
And
that.
yeah, he was very upset about that.
making the damn things, and
Yeah.
still here.
You know, he's got 100 printers and couldn't come up with a maker coin.
I think I tasked like 6 printers to make the damn things.
Yeah, they look cool, from what I hear.
So let's see. We got a lot of cool questions for you. I know we're going to pretty much ask the same questions of everybody, just so y'all know. What's your name? What do you want to go by? What's going to be displayed? How long have you been 3D printing? Are there any pictures you'd like to show? And Chris has some for us. What printers do you use? And what's a YouTube channel that you follow that we may not? So that's kind of the format for all the guests. So we get to know everybody close to the same, right? So when I asked you what's going to be displayed, your answer was, I currently have a few printers, 10. What did you just finish building?
I just finished building the rail core that I got through Josh at Alien 3D.
Nice.
And that thing is just sweet.
I'd kill for one of those.
That's like going from a Pontiac or a Chevy to a Cadillac. It's just a whole nother level of quality. It's really nice.
That's awesome. So I have let's see here. Of course, I hit the wrong button and shut down my document, but that's okay.
That's why I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, right. No, I meant to share my stream again, and I hit the little X instead of the minimize. But that's okay. I got a screen share going on. So I got some pictures. If you want to walk us through what they are, I
Sure.
know it looks like a few different printers and stuff. So I'm going to throw them up on the screen here for you. Bam. So let me see if I can do. Oh, let's see. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, that's my my CR10S. That's my first printer I got last April.
Okay.
Couple upgrades there, but I really didn't have any luck printing on it until I got the Easy ABL from TH3D. And I could level the bed, but the bed wasn't flat. There were waves in the glass, and it was really hard to get quality prints out of it. Now I just point, click, and print. It's amazing.
That's awesome. Llama says he'll trade you the Llama core for the rail core if anyone's interested.
Maybe if he autographs it.
There you go. So that looks like another Creality machine. Is that a CR10S Pro?
That is the Pro. That's one that a certain guy named Jim helped me acquire from Amazon Returns.
Yeah, that was
This guy, whoever had this before me, had all the fans removed. He put a power adapter in the hot end to step the voltage down in that fan. And the thing was a mess. It's got a nice gouge in the build plate, but I got it all straightened out. Everything works great now, and
nice.
that's my little humidity controlled box next to it on the left there. Keep my filament dry.
Little dry box.
What is this? I saw this. This is awesome.
That's my my current project. I started that in March, and I'm still printing parts. If I had the CR10S5, it would have been a little easier, bigger prints. But I've got to cut everything in pieces, smaller pieces for a 300 build plate.
Is it going to be remote control or static?
You know, it's going to be whatever it ends up being.
Nice.
Because I might not make it through the build. It's a lot of work. I hear it could take over a year or so.
Nice. Well, we're going to have you back on and do like updates on this because that is phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Whoa, what is going on here?
All right, so the big printer there is the G-Max from the 3D printing nerd that I won at Murph.
Nice.
So that's the one that he sent back and G-Max updated, and then they gave it away at Murph, right?
Yeah, they did a refurb on it and gave it away, and I was the lucky guy to win it.
So you're the one I have to hire the assassin for.
You can do it. It's too big to get out of the house.
Nice.
And then the little printers in the back, those are the finders that I found on eBay. They were Amazon returns. They were $100 each. Two of them had less than 5 hours of print time on them.
Wow.
And the third one, the hot end was jammed with some TPU. And then once I got that cleaned out, they are really good printers. I mean, they're the reason I went with the rail core, because the way they print with the bed dropping down away from the nozzle, you don't have all that mass moving around and reverberating through the print. So they print really well.
That's
so
cool.
For little small stuff, I'll just send them over there. They're all on Wi-Fi.
What kind of printer is it?
That's the FlashForge. Yeah.
That's the which one?
FlashForge Finder.
FlashForge Finder. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still on eBay.
And then this one looks like a couple more. What we got here?
These are the G-Tech A10Ms.
Okay.
Dual color.
Sweet.
I did a bed upgrade on there because they're the heated build plate is super thin, and then it was just some glass on there that wasn't flat, of course. But I've got those dialed in now, and I don't do too much with them, only because of the build volume size. But when I find something that I need that application, they're ready to go.
Nice.
Those I bought those like the next day after watching Chris's video.
Nice.
Because I think he did the A20.
I did the A10 and the A20.
Yeah.
This looks like behind you.
I like that.
That is behind me. Yeah. So those are my end caps for my Repcord box. So I got the Country 3D in the middle there and the 3D printing nerd on each end.
Nice.
Cool.
I got my warp core over there next to my breaker panel. My Rep Raptor that I printed on the G-Max 500 millimeters. And there's my Joel, C3P Joel that I was walking around Murph with. He autographed the foot for me.
Nice. That is cool. Did he autograph the foot for you?
Yeah, and I've got my idol there from Indiana Jones.
Nice. What else? Whoa, what is this?
That's
Ooh.
the Cadillac.
That's
Oh,
the rail
that's a
core.
new one, huh?
Yeah, so I finished the build, and then I got an email from Printed Solid. They had a sale on the panel the touchscreen on there, so I added that. Printed the case with the alien ooze to match my green theme there. And you can see I've got some R2-D2 prints on the bed.
That's a beautiful printer.
Josh from Alien 3D says he loves the lighting on that one.
Yeah, I can do it's one of those RGBs, so you can do any color you want really, but
That is sweet.
Green's all I need.
That's all you need, right? What's going on here?
Oh, that's a PX Malian 320. I have
This
one of
is
those.
the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Pardon my French. This I bought. I saw a Print and Play do a stream on it, and it was $130 on Amazon. So, I mean, that's the value in the parts. So I figured I couldn't lose. And the box they sent me was actually a return unit. They sold it as new, but somebody had assembled it already. It was a real mess. So it's already in pieces. I'm actually all those linear rails, the round bars there, smooth rods they call them.
Yep.
I saw those, and the first thing I thought was Prusa. So right now I'm printing Prusa parts, and I'm gonna turn that whole gantry assembly into a Prusa version.
Nice.
And
Here's the
see
thing
how I
about
can print.
PX Malian. Their machines are gorgeous. Everything is injection molded, beautiful. I mean, they really are nice, but they're so poorly executed.
Exactly. They've got no business in making printers.
They have somebody who knows how to make gorgeous parts. The manuals are nice. The parts are nice. The printers look. I got the little one that's like that, and I love it so much. And I'm still trying to redesign the parts to make it work. Because
Now, maybe they should have kept it small, like Prusa. He never went any bigger than that. So
no, it's more than that. It's micro things like the rails will be slightly too far apart versus the carriage, and so it's constantly binding as it tries to move, and it's a pity. They had a designer design the thing, and it's gorgeous, but they didn't have an engineer vet it.
yeah, I mean it's very simple. There's nothing to it, and it's almost too simple because it doesn't work well.
Right.
But it's got a 32-bit board in it, so.
Oh wow.
I was impressed by that.
So
I'll get 'em working.
I have one more picture that we got to show because I think everybody's gonna love it. Let's see. Boom! Look at that. That thing is gorgeous.
There you go, Josh.
All right, we know somebody who's already raided Area 51. He came back with this.
It glows.
That is so funny. Nice. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to this one. I like this one. So that was awesome. Those are some sweet printers you got there, and man, that rail core is nice. And it has the Alien 3D. That's a good plug in there for Josh. I like that.
Every time I talk to Josh, he's just a cool guy. He cares about what he does, and he does his best. So you can't fault him for anything.
So
he's good people.
Yeah, for sure. We met him at Murph this year. My first Murph. We went down there, and I asked like, "Hey, can I interview for my little tiny channel?" He's like, "Sure, let's do it." And he's been awesome ever since. Actually, we were talking. He's going to come on as a host pretty quick here, so that's going to be pretty awesome to have Josh on. Right now, I love his hair.
Yeah, this alien who's here.
Yes. So I think you went over a little bit about how long you've been printing. If I remember right, it's from April of last year, right?
It's not very long. I got that CR10S, and it kind of bummed me out for a while. And then a couple months went by, and I ran into a buddy of mine who got his own 3D printer for his son for college engineering class, and he was printing some stuff out, and it was a Prusa and Prusa. And I saw the prints coming off of that, and I was motivated. I'm gonna get that damn thing running. And,
nice.
For
I
those
haven't
who
looked
having a
back
problem
since.
with the positioning in the stream, if you click on the little gear at the bottom, you can change the speed of the playback of the stream. So set it to like 1.5x, and you'll slowly catch up to real time.
Oh yeah, and on mobile, if you're watching on mobile, there's a little live button too. If you click that live, it'll. I think who was that? Robert, right?
Yeah, somebody in the chat was talking about 3 minutes. Yeah, Robert.
I see that. Nice. While we're talking, so you use primarily all your printers, or do you use like one more than others?
No, well, I don't use the G-Tex all that much right now, but with this R2 build, they're all going at one point or another.
Nice.
You can't overextend yourself because you got to keep an eye on them and manage them. So the most I've had going at one time was 6, and I was pulling my hair out.
a little nervous.
Yeah, I've got a UPS on all of them, but when the filament starts getting low, yeah, you're like, do I go to bed or just do I wait?
Just in case, right?
Just in case.
All right. That's hilarious.
There's nothing worse than walking down to the basement, seeing that printer idle, and you could still see the infill, and nothing's happening. You're like, oh man, there's 20 hours down the drain.
Oh no,
that burns.
Yeah. Chris, while we're here, any questions so far while we're going through? Anything you want to ask the other Chris, or vice versa? Because we have 2 Chris's here. Like, let's see, right here and here. So either one, if you want to jump in and ask any questions, go for it. 3D printing and painting says check out the T3D Easy Out filament sensor. that might help. Hey,
yeah, of course. I mean, the CR10S has a filament sensor, but the G-Mix, it's not an easy process adding one to that. The rail core is kind of so new that I don't really want to screw it up right now. Just let it do its thing. Keep an eye on it.
I know what my solution will be in the future: 5-kilogram rolls.
The problem with the 5-kilogram rolls is something that you would appreciate, Chris. They're only in black and white, and who wants to print that?
It sucks. Although Push Filaments, I think it is. I think they do other colors in the larger rolls.
Yeah, I had one guy on Facebook tell me, "Well, why don't you weigh the filament before you print?" I'm like, really? I'm gonna take everything apart, weigh the spool, and do a calculation. I don't know. I wasn't very impressed with that.
I have a couple friends that at least one of them does that. He weighs and keeps track of everything he prints on every spool, and it's I am not that organized to do that, but
I print until the spool is empty, and then I put a new spool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, zero waste.
I don't have too many partial spools.
I don't know if you saw the guy at Murph next to the G Create booth. He's putting together that he calls it the spool. It's an encoder that will keep track of every millimeter of filament that goes to your printer. I guess it's gonna be web based, and you can keep track of everything that you do, and it'll give you alerts when everything's getting low.
That's awesome. They also make that I can't remember what it was, but it's actually like a dry box that has a scale in it.
Yeah. I already packed it away. The eSun e-box.
I think you went over that one on one of your streams there.
The only problem is it doesn't get hot enough.
You packed it. Are you
80? But it never gets there.
Are you moving, Chris?
Yes. August 16th.
For sure this time?
Well, it all depends,
Yeah,
Now, remember, these are decisions that are largely out of my control.
Right. So
that's the closing date?
Yes, that's a closing date for this house.
Oh, good deal.
So I better have a new house by then, or I'm in deep shit.
You'll be fine.
As far as let's go through my question. So I asked you the same question. Is there a channel out there that you watch that we may not watch, or that you want to let us know about?
Yeah, I ran into this kid at Murph. His name is his channel is called Making with Luke. He's a young kid, and he's like 14, 15, 16, high school age. And he The kid is super smart and talented. He took some old CD drives and built a 3D printer out of that stuff with $40 investment, and he had a little 50 by 50 build plate or whatever it was, but that wasn't the point. The thing was pretty awesome.
He MacGyvered a freaking printer.
Yeah, I mean, blew me away. He's got some videos on YouTube, and he's a cool kid.
And it's called Making with Luke.
Yeah, give him some support.
Awesome. We'll have to check that out. Hey, Eccentric, how you doing? Jesse Foreman's in the house. He said he had to return his Illigum Mars because it came with a cracked glass on top of the LCD. Ah, that stinks.
All right, Jim, question for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
So you're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You're kind of an IT guy.
That's what they tell me.
You you DJ weddings.
I own a DJ business, yes.
Where did 3D printing come from?
Oh man, where did 3D? Well, it came from a friend of mine that has it. Had a printer. He's had one for like 6 years. He jumped on board when they were $1,000 or $1,500, and recently it broke, and the company had went out of business, and it was a proprietary part that broke. So he grabbed an Ender 3 at probably, if I had to guess, it was like July-ish last year, right? And for a couple months, he was like, "Hey, I got this new printer. You got to check this out." Well, then we all went to a concert in around Thanksgiving, and I started getting obsessed. Started watching Chris's streams, and then I was like, "I got to get one of these. These are way too cool." And Ender 3 went on sale. I think at that time I paid $200 shipped from Prime, which was a good deal, and at that time, and that's how I got into 3D printing. And YouTube channel wise, I think I've said this before. I just wanted to do something. I learned better visually myself, and I wanted to help people like myself. I was going through Luke Hatfield's guides, One Bad Marine's guides, and I didn't know what stuff was called. I didn't understand some of it because he's very technical. And at that, especially, I'm still not, but at that time, I definitely wasn't. And I was like, I don't know what you mean, do what? So I asked him if I could start filming his videos, and he said sure. And we went back and forth, and he told me what to fix in my videos, and then I posted them, and that's how I got into it. And it's just been awesome. I went to Murph for the first time. I met Chris there. I think you were there too. I probably saw her.
We crossed paths. I saw this hippie Jesus walking around in a leather jacket talking to all these people. I'm like, who is that guy? But I didn't have an introduction to your channel at that point, so you were just a stranger. Otherwise, I would have said hi.
I don't remember the leather jacket, but I could probably find one, But no, it was a lot of fun, and I got another one because we're all here. Chris, what made you get into 3D printing?
Rockets.
Oh yeah, duh. I should have remembered that from your stream.
Nose cones for his rockets.
There you go.
Expensive. And when I realized that a $600 printer could make nose cones for 25 cents a piece, I was like, yeah.
Now look at you.
Especially when you start printing big nose cones. Like I can now print a 12-inch nose cone, which would be like a $200 nose cone. I could print it for like $10.
When was the last time you launched a rocket?
Almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Here's a good one. Dr. Jekyll says he got an Ender 3 to print FPV parts and hasn't touched it since he got the printer. That is all too true, man. I just love, like we were talking earlier with Tom or with 3D Printing Llama. I just love that I can say, this is what I want, and then print it and come back in a few hours or whatever, and it's there. And yeah, I could go buy stuff cheaper sometimes from the store, but that's not the point. I could print, the vase or whatever I want, and in a few hours, you have a decent, fun vase.
No, you're gonna have a contest. Here we go.
No contest. He wins.
Yeah, hands down. He's got his room there is Thingiverse.
Yes. It's true.
Almost. Hey, I tried downloading all of Thingiverse. I have from 2008 to 2015 with a little bit of 16.
Oh, you got too much time.
500 gigabyte hard drive. I have a little 500. You'll like this.
Right. Dr. Jekyll says he loves watching stuff materialize from his ideas. Exactly.
People always say, cloud storage. And, cloud storage in the United States sucks. This is 512 gigabytes. There you go. There's my cloud. Beat that, Google.
Nice.
But that's all of Thingiverse on there.
Blasto says,
like 2016.
Oh, geez. Blasto says he got his CR10 Mini as his first printer because he didn't want to pay for the printed parts. Save 30 bucks. It's awesome. Save $30 by spending $250. That is exactly,
that's how you do it.
That's what I like right there. That's why, my wife, when we were at Murph, we were talking to Steve from Steamy CNC, the owner of Steamy CNC, and we were talking about his machines and how really I got an Ender 3. Like millions of people got Ender 3s. And she refers to that printer as the gateway printer because it was so cheap to get into. And then you get addicted and then you end up with 5 printers, they multiply quick. So,
yeah, the rumor is they sold 500,000 Ender 3s in the first 2 weeks.
Right.
Wow.
Whew. That's a lot of printers. They've got to have sold over 10 million by now.
Right.
That's incredible.
Oh, that is awesome.
And you don't hear any fires, any stories with the Ender 3 like that. I mean, they had those bad connectors for a while, but that was a manufacturing defect. But 500,000 in the first few weeks. What's the total to date, percentage wise? It's a real solid machine.
Well, the number you'll hear about are small, and on top of that, a lot of the times it comes down to user error. I have a stainless steel table that all printers get built on, and this is the first night they run on this table. So if anything goes wrong, there's nothing to burn.
Right. Hopefully.
Right.
It is a machine that's running a lot of power and it's getting hot. And it also depends on your skill at putting it together to a point. So you need to make sure that machine is not near anything that can burn. I mean, there's no excuse for a machine catching on fire. But I tell people, when you buy a 3D printer, unless you're buying pretty much any 3D printer, really, it's like going into a Home Depot and saying, I'd like to build something. And the guy says, hey, I can help you with that. And he helps you fill your shopping cart with parts. He says, there you go. That's all the parts you need. Well, when you go home and build that project and it doesn't work, you can't go back to Home Depot and complain. You just bought parts from them. And you have to treat Chinese printers like that. You're basically buying a box of parts. You've got to apply just a little bit of intelligence to it. Otherwise, bad things can happen. It shouldn't be that way, but that is the way it is. So,
yeah, like you said, it's not an appliance. You're buying a kit, more or less.
That's why I like the Creality, TiVo, G-Tech are actually, JG Maker. They're listening to feedback. They're improving the printers. These printers are so much better than they were 5 years ago. It's incredible. I mean, it's just, it's nice to see. Now we just need them to start. The race to the bottom is over. So now we just need to start seeing the feature creep, where things just start getting better.
I think the race to the bottom is over, except for resin printers. I think they're just hitting that right now with that, with the 2 that everybody's crazy about right now. We had someone earlier said that he had to send his Elegoo Mars back. But that one, and what was the other one? The
Photon?
No, not the Anycubic. The cheap, the like $200 one.
Spark Maker?
No. The one Uncle Jesse did?
Yeah, then he sent it back. And I can't remember.
Oh, the Monoprice.
There you go.
One.
Price there. Just Select Mini or whatever it is. Blasto Supreme just says orange. I love that.
And screw the resin printers. The resin printers isn't where it's at. Where it's at is the Elegoo resin. $40 a kilo. Yeah. A year and a half ago, you were spending $150 a kilo. Now you can get resin damn near as cheap as mid-grade PLA.
Right.
That's amazing. That is what's gonna allow resin to explode. Now they just need to figure out how to make it non-toxic.
Details.
So I think, just because I want to, tonight, because people came to the first stream, I think I'm going to give this away. So I got this today from Creality. It's the 3D viewer. I had already gotten one, and I want to share the wealth with someone that's watching tonight. So just for a test, because I just opened Nightbot, just for a strict test. Let's see. Is that better? You like that or the other one better? I don't know.
You just got to shift your face to the right. No, that's your left. You're right.
Hey, wait. Let's see. If we go back to this one, we can do this. Can I hand this to you?
Oh, there you go. Ready? Here we go.
There you go. Can I have it back?
Okay.
Oh, thank you. All right. So anyways, we're going to
I feel left out.
Well, I could try passing it to you. Let's see if it works.
There's nothing here.
It didn't work.
Oh.
I guess it only works left to right, not up and down.
So,
Shafted.
So that is way too funny. Anyway, so I think I'm going to give it away real quick. I am going to try this keyword thing in Nightbot, and it's just going to be called type in test.
Eat all of your opponents so that you win.
Just a test. This is not to give away. I just want to make sure it works. Only one time, and I'm just going to make sure it works. I want to make sure everybody's in there. Test. This is a lot of tests. Red Light's in the house. Old Curmudgeon, Dan Adams, HVAC. Holy moly, everybody's here. I can't read them that fast.
Hey, Llama's
I
back.
sent out one of those community post things about an hour before the stream started, hoping that would get a little more traffic here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I saw you retweeting. I definitely appreciate that as well. So earlier I watched a live stream this morning of someone that has almost 1 million subscribers.
Wow.
And the comments were going so fast during his live stream. There's no way you could ever keep up. Let me back in. Jump on in, Tom. You can
It's
jump
like
in.
watching Angus. His live streams are that way. You can't even follow anything.
Right. So real quick, let me just hit Tom's back. I'm going to bring him in because we're all here and he's back. Hey, Tom, how are you?
What's up, guys?
Nice. It did work. So now I have 30 eligible users, which means
including me because I did it.
that is so funny. That means 19 of you guys did not hit that test button. So make sure everybody hits it. But what we're going to do, it did work. So that's awesome. Now let's see if I can go back to giveaways.
Oh, you're screwed rich because you already won. And, it's like lightning. You're not going to win twice.
Well, that was a
it would be really cool if you did, actually, just because.
Let's see.
I'm dying to get that new resin printer I see on Creality's site that has the 9-inch screen with the array of LEDs. I want one so bad.
What would be the array of LEDs do?
Well, right now with a printer, you have a single point emitter.
Right.
You have a single point emitter and a flat bed. It's stronger here than it is here. And the result of that is you get an uneven curing of resin, especially when you're doing very fine stuff.
Or multiple
So, for example,
parts.
when I try to print
the LED
butterflies, if I get the center exposed properly, the ones on the outsides are underexposed. If I get the outside exposed properly, the one in the center is overexposed. And of course,
that's only with laser, though, not LED, right?
What's that?
That's only with the laser ones, not the LED.
No, with the LED.
Infrared.
Because the LED is going to drop off on.
Really, I didn't know that.
While
I did not know that.
Has a
You learned
flat
something new.
array of LEDs that covers the entire bottom of the screen. So all of the LCD screen gets an even amount of UV light.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
So we can give this away before the end of the stream, everybody, because it's a Creality 3D viewer straight from Creality. I'm going to ship it to you. Type in Creality. We have 49 people in the chat right now. So if everybody could type in Creality only one time.
If you type it in twice, I bite you.
There you go. Just because. No.
Okay.
Any excuse to bite somebody.
You bite them and Llama spits. So.
There you go. Put us together and we form the Spitting Cobra.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
You know what that was, Llama? That was a twist.
Oh, my God. Everybody do a drink.
Did you see when I handed this to Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually never left because I
there you go.
took care of everything beforehand.
Oh, hang on. I was too slow.
That actually worked really well. You know, it's funny because Fun King and Walter and all them have been thinking about doing that. They're talking about it every weekend on the Fun and Country basement. It's like, oh, we should do that. We should. You guys just like improv'd it and like do that games. It was awesome.
First try.
That was pretty fun. I just happened earlier in the stream, only about 30 more seconds. If you have not typed Creality in the chat, please do so. Anyways, earlier in the stream, I saw the DHL package. He grabbed a box out of DHL package or something, and I was like, oh, I know what that was. It came today too.
I also got the parts for the where'd it go? The G1 upgrade for the Order 4.
Oh, nice.
So I got the upgraded bits for that.
10 seconds on Creality. 10 seconds on Creality.
New build surface.
Sweet.
The new hot end. So when I get to New Mexico, I'll play with that. That machine's pretty nice. I really like it.
Rick Cisco.
The lucky minion has been selected.
Yay, Rick.
Rick Cisco, congratulations. You have won the Creality 3D viewer. I'll send me an email, jim@theedgeoftech.com, and I will make sure I get that out to you. But thank you. And thank you, everybody, for coming out. I know 50 viewers right now is awesome for the first,
Great. Awesome.
yeah, for the first show.
First show.
Inaugural episode. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you to what time we got? We got plenty of time. We got like 3 minutes. Thank you to
No, over too.
Or Chris from Today's 3D Print, to Chris Gulotta down here, and Tom from the 3D Printing Llama. I really appreciate you guys. We had this idea, a week ago or something, and I was like, let's do this because another one of our viewers asked us to, and these guys all got together within a week and said, all right, cool, we'll come on. And I really appreciate that. It's been a lot of fun learning about different people in the community, and I hope we can get more people involved that want to come on the same. If you want to come on, shoot me an email, jim@theedgeoftech.com. You see it at the bottom of the screen. Just do the subject as community showcase, and let me know you want to join us. We have some fun. I think next week, special guests is going to be Richard, and Brian, I believe, is going to be here too from the First Layer up in Canada. They're going to join us next week.
Cool. They're fun.
Yeah, some fun. They're a lot of fun, and they're going to join us next week. And we have some more people coming. I know in a couple weeks on August 5th, I have a special guest that you guys might know by the name of David Shorey. He's going to be our guest on the show, and I don't know if you've checked out his stuff before, but he has some rocking stuff. He's actually printing on fabric and making clothes and stuff like that. It's just crazy. So he's actually going to be one of our guests and talk about what he's doing, because just like the rail core and just like the llama core and it's stuff like that keeps our community going, and it needs to be seen.
What are you giving away next week?
That is a great question. So today was the Creality 3D viewer. Tim from TH3D graciously said he would sponsor the show, and we're probably going to do a giveaway from Tim's store next week. And I'm looking into a couple of, I'm hoping a filament vendor will jump in so we can give away some filament and, give them some love too. But today I just happened to get this in the mail, and I was like, I already got one. Let's give it away. So I appreciate it. Congratulations, Rick. That's awesome. It is actually, once you get it set up, I did a live stream. If you go back and want to take the time to watch it, you actually might have been a part of it. I can't remember. But once you get it set up, it's actually kind of cool. It's kind of like Octoprint, but all in one camera. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, and it's magnetic too, by the way. I set mine on something that was like thunk. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was magnetic. All right. But yeah, but thank you guys. I really appreciate you coming. Hit that
PG Alien 3D PG.
I don't know what he said. Got it. Alien 3D said he'll hook us up with some probed green PETG. If you guys don't know who that is, it's Josh from Alien 3D. He does the all sorts of fun stuff, but he does the Alien 3D UFO boxes. Here's one of them here. And I have the newest one. I still need to do a video. Yeah, there you go.
And
oh,
there's the July one. And
so I could do this again.
which one?
That's funny.
There you go.
But,
Here, Jim.
oh, nice. There you go. This is too much funny. But yeah.
Oh, do you have one?
Yeah.
No.
Bottom left. You got one?
Nope.
Tom.
We could have done a 4-way pass.
I can't afford it.
Damn it, Llama.
So I just
can't afford it.
have to show a little love out there to one of our fellow makers, and I know he's in the chat. I think he's still in the chat, maybe.
Probably
Bob, for the new
StreamYard,
critter.
too.
He hooked me up with these. John Mack. I don't know if he's still in the chat or not, but he actually hooked me up
Nice.
with some hats that have my logo on it.
The wrong color.
Looks good too.
There's all sorts of colors. So there's the white with the blue,
That looks nice.
Ooh, I
and
like
the black with the blue,
That looks cool too.
and then the
orange.
yeah. I knew that was coming. But thank you so much, John Mack. He's here. He said he's here. I really appreciate. This was awesome, and he sent me 4 of them. And he didn't charge me. He wouldn't let me pay for shipping or anything. So thank you. One of these might have to go in one of the streams coming up, just because there's only 4 and I can't give it away every day. That'd be awesome though.
I wear hats.
Nice. My
those are funny looking.
I
Mine's
want an
cool.
orange hat with the blue edge of tech.
there you go. That would be sweet. But thank you though. I appreciate it. Everybody out there watching, you guys, they're still 47 strong, and we've been going for a little over an hour. Everybody here, please click subscribe to their channels. Like the video if you like the video, but give everybody some love. Everybody deserves it. There's tons of us in this community, and we're all doing some great stuff. But hit that subscribe button. We're going to get to 5,000 by the end of the year. That's my goal.
Hell yeah.
Good job, Jim. Thanks for putting this together. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, you're welcome.
StreamYards. This is all really possible because of StreamYards.
Yes, StreamYards is definitely. StreamYards is, and I've said this in one of my streams before, very, very graciously hooked me up with their subscription for a couple months to kind of show it off. That's how we can do the banners. That's how we can do the now I've lost what I was doing. There we go. Take that off there. That's how we can do the backgrounds, and we can do the logos and the different banners in the background and stuff. And I definitely appreciate that. Gage at StreamYards, you're the man as well. I have that in the description of the video. There's a special thanks to them too. But thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Provide you with like a referral code or something like that.
Yeah, in the
give people like 2 months of premium access or something like that, and maybe they can just credit you to keep you going.
They do. They have an affiliate program, yeah.
Yeah, so what happens is if you click my link down below, it says, "Hey, Jim sent you." All it does is say that I gave you a referral, and unless you buy the premium or you subscribe to the premium one, it just sits there. If you do subscribe to the premium one, then it gives me some sort of credit after I think you spend $25 is how it works with StreamYards. Yeah. So right now it's all free. You don't have to pay for it. I know Llama's using it. I know Fun in the Country Basement's using it. I know a ton of people are using it, and it's free. So if you click my description down below, it at least shows Gage that we're sending some people to him, and that's pretty awesome. I just wanted to look real quick. Did anybody had anything in the comments before we bailed on it? Because sometimes
you just gotta center your camera.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, you're not there. All we're seeing is the upper left quadrant. I'm looking at the bottom right hand corner of that screen behind you. You're not in the frame.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. I don't know, but But yeah, so I just want to make sure full description. Thanks for keeping obsessed with this. Jesse Foreman says thanks everyone here for keeping him obsessed with, or keeping them obsessed with this. HVAC, I can't even say that. HVAC A to Z says he has the full subscription. Awesome. Hopefully you guys like the stream. I didn't see a ton, but I can't go back through all of them. There's a lot of comments. But thank you guys for being here. Everybody in the stream watching, thank you so much for coming in on a Monday night. I know we're trying to keep it to about an hour. That way, people have families and food and that kind of stuff. So we don't want to go too much over that. But thank you. I really appreciate it. And maybe one of these days we'll just get together for an impromptu fun live stream and we can all just be us. How's that sound, Chris? Chris and everybody. Sounds good. Well, thank you guys. We got to get going. I really appreciate it. First episode, Community Showcase. Stay tuned next week, Monday, 6 p.m. Central Time. We will see you here. And you guys hang out for 1 second. Stay in the green room, okay?
All right, I'm here.
All right, sounds good. I just didn't want to kick you all out like, see ya. You guys have a good night. Thank you. Keep printing.